From eTown Hall in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, it's eTown with this week's guests. From Ontario, Canada, singer-songwriter Donovan Woods. Interview guest Zara Alexandra. And from Kauai, Hawaii, Donavon Frankenreiter. I'm Helen Forster. Join me now in welcoming our host, Nick Forster.
Thank you, Helen. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to eTown Hall. We have got some travelers this week, some musicians, singers, writers who they took a chance and they walked away from a more conventional path. They pursued their passion and then decided to rely on that to sustain them. That's bold stuff, brave stuff. Doesn't always work out, but for our guests this week, so far so good. Both of our musical guests this week are named Donovan. Donovan Woods grew up in Ontario, just across the border from Michigan. Donavon Frankenreiter is, of course, a Southern California person, now living in Hawaii, whose first love was surfing. And, of course, it still is kind of a defining characteristic in his life. He set a world record with Devin Allman, playing gigs in all 50 states in 49 days. I think they should be proud of that. It is a world record that was previously held by George Thorogood. And he commented on Donavon Frankenreiter's socials. So at least that happened. Donovan's got a new record. He's got some singles out, some new videos. His songs, of course, do sound like they come from the beach. They have that surfer sound, laid back, cool beach vibes. He was last on eTown along with Mavis Staples almost 20 years ago. Was the last time he was here. And he's still going strong. We're happy to have him back. Would you please help me welcome back to eTown, Donavon Frankenreiter.
Gotta believe in something, ain't that true? Gotta believe in something, oh I believe in you. Gotta be who you wanna be, don't let them tell you differently. Gotta go where you're never gone, have to try harder if we want to get along. Gonna be good days and bad days, you can never choose. Happy ones and sad ones, but you know sometimes the winner's gonna lose. Gotta believe in something, ain't that true? Gotta believe in something, oh I believe in you. You gotta create things if you wanna make it. Gotta give before you take it. Gotta do things you never done. Don't wait too long before your time has come. Gonna be good days and bad days, never choose. Happy ones and sad ones, but you know sometimes the winner's gonna lose. Gotta believe in something, ain't that true? Gotta believe in something, oh I believe in you. Something more precious than all the wealth. It's just letting go and living Oh, I believe in you. Yeah. Gotta believe in something. Ain't that true? Gotta believe in something. Oh, I believe in you. I believe, I believe.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you for having
Yeah,
us back.
welcome
It's
back.
Really a treat. Really.
Yeah,
A treat.
and the last time, as I mentioned, was with Mavis Staples.
Yeah, which was a surprise to me because at the time I had these managers. They're like, you got to do this eTown thing, and you got to play with their band, and then there's another artist you got to play with. I'm like, who is it? And they're like, I don't know. You'll figure it out. And I was at the airport, and I'm all, oh my God, it's Mavis Staples on the curb. And then the van pulled up and picked us both up, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play with her. Because I've been such a fan of hers forever, and I heard that like her and Bob Dylan dated, and I'm like, is that true? And she's like, yes, that's true. And
Yeah.
it was really cool. It was fun.
She was nice to you, as I recall.
Yeah, she was. So she's a sweetheart to
She's so
everybody, I'm
sweet.
sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, 19 years is a long time.
Yeah.
You've created a fan base, and you've been hardworking, and you've traveled a lot, and you've developed connections with different communities and different venues, and you also have created this connection between your two passions, which is, surfing and music.
Yeah.
And they fit. They work together.
It's great because, you surf during the day, you can play music at night. They've never gotten in the way of it one another. So it's wonderful. And you can play music anywhere, and sort of sometimes the music's taken me to places I thought I would never go and surf. And then surfing my whole life, I've been places playing music where I never thought I'd go. So it's been beautiful. It's been great.
Yeah. And I think the last time we saw each other, you maybe had one little boy, little kid.
Now I got a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old, yeah.
21 and 17.
Yeah.
Are they surfers?
They are, yeah. They're addicted to surfing and free diving and anything outdoors, yeah.
And you've moved to Hawaii since
Yeah,
we
living
saw-
in Hawaii. They grew up in Hawaii, and so living there has been like a dream, you know?
Are they into music too?
Yeah, my son Hendrix is actually coming
Hendrix,
out
of
all
course, is
July.
going to be into music. Yeah. You're Donovan and he's Hendrix. It's like, good, how is this going to work
And then my
out?
other son's name is Ozzy, so. Oh boy.
Wow. And of course, our other guest this week is also named Donovan. And I know for a fact that his parents were like major Donovan Leitch fans, and that's why they named their kid Donovan.
Yeah.
I suspect that's not the case for you.
No, it's not. I don't know where my parents got it. And they actually spelt it the way nobody spells it. And so a lot of times people try to look for me online, and they'll be like, I can't find your anywhere. I'm like, dude, you got to put the A, D-O-N-A-V-O-N, and then they end up finding it. But yeah, it was never about Donovan Leitch.
Yeah.
It
Have
was
you ever
just-
met Donovan Leitch?
I never have, but I've had sort of crazy experiences about him. When you put out a record, you'd go and you'd do these in-stores at record stores when they were still around, and we went out there and played 4 new songs, and then went to a table and started signing autographs, and these couple of women came up and they said, hey, you really saved me in 68 and 69. You got me through it. And I was like, what the I was born in 1972, and I was like, and then it occurred to me, I'm like, oh, they think I'm Donovan Leitch. And then I started thinking, like, these girls think they think I look like I'm 80. I was like, I don't know what was worse, but
So you hate Donovan?
no, no, I love him. He was a legendary guy, and he put out incredible music, and yeah, he's just been such an icon in the music industry. But I've never met him.
So you've got some new songs.
Yeah.
And a record coming out.
Yeah, I think the record comes out September 20th, and there's 9 songs on the record, and 3 of the singles are out, and there's collaborations on every single song that we're putting out, and really great artists that I collaborated with. So there's like the original version of the record, and then 9 songs, which is going to be the collaborative version, and there's also an acoustic version. And
Nice.
And it was the first time actually playing those songs with a keyboard player and another guitar player. And these guys literally, they just learned my songs this afternoon. We went through them once, and so these guys are amazing. And
Well, you brought your killer rhythm section, your bass player and your drummer. So yeah, it sounds good because of that too. Well, listen, we're going to hear more music. I'm glad you're back. Glad you're still doing it. I like your style, Donovan, because you are you know, as the song suggests, you're a guy who lives in the moment and enjoys the beauty around you and the opportunity to make music and surf and be with friends and family.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of scary stuff in the world, and it's good to have a reminder sometimes to just be present.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's like the best part of our day is being on stage and playing music, you know?
Well, listen, I'm glad you're here. Well, let's get back to music. Welcome back, Donavon Frankenreiter.
Okay.
This love be the fading sky, could drift all night to the new sunrise. Pass me a drink, or maybe two, one for me and one for you. Yeah, we're gonna be free, free, free. Changing tides, gonna trap themselves and get inside. When will the weather ever let us go? I guess we'll have to wait until them trade winds blow, and baby gonna be free, free, free. There's nothing in between what we are, what we see. There's nothing in between what we are, what we see, and what we are. Sailing home with our drunken hearts and our tired bones. I just take one last look around, and every place gonna feel like a familiar town. You know we're gonna be free. Gonna be free.
Thank you.
That's Donavon Frankenreiter from Kauai, Hawaii, along with Alex Nash on the drums, Matt Grundy on the bass, the eTones, Eric Moon, Helen Forrester singing backup. They will be back, play some more music a little later on in the show.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, or SCFD, one of the largest cultural funding mechanisms in the United States, supporting nearly 300 organizations in the greater Denver, Colorado area. By the way, if you enjoy watching live music videos, there are over 2,000 such videos on the eTown YouTube channel, where you can subscribe and stay up to date with our past and latest video offerings. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. You're listening to eTown. Donavon Frankenreiter is going to be back to play some more music later on in the show. And coming up, Donovan Woods is here, wonderful singer-songwriter from Canada. But first, I was on a flight to Nashville a few weeks ago, and I sat next to a young woman who was working on a cattle ranch out on the eastern plains of Colorado. And she was passionate about ranching. She was also passionate about helping young people stay on the farms or on ranches or move to farms and ranches. And we had a great conversation. She's also a singer and songwriter, heading to Nashville to work with her record producer and get signed and so on. So that part of the conversation also happened. But, we for years been advocates for stewardship in its many forms, looking out for the land that sustains us all. And so it's true that in general, kids who grow up on the farm often leave and head to the cities for work. So I asked my travel companion to leave the ranch and come up here to talk about her work. And she is here now. So please welcome to eTown, Zara Alexandra. Welcome, Zara.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, did you have chores this morning?
I did.
What time did you get up?
I got up at 5 o'clock.
And what kind of chores did you have?
Checking water for cattle.
And how do you do that? Do you do that on horseback, or do you ride an ATV, or how do you do it?
Truck.
And so how big a ranch is it that you're working these days?
Over 80,000 acres.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, I'm a worker. None of that acreage is mine or will ever be mine. And so now I live on my partner's ranch, and we're also farm and direct-to-consumer beef, lamb, and vegetables, CSA. So.
Oh, cool. That's a lot of work. And so one of your goals is to try to encourage young people to get into that line of work and move to farms and ranches.
Yes.
How do you do that?
I also work part-time for National Young Farmers Coalition. So I'm the Colorado organizer. And this is my personal hat, where most folks that are working as farmers or ranchers are over the age of 57, and so there's only 12% of people ages 22 to 35, I believe.
12% of the population that currently works in agriculture.
It's because it's a really hard job to do, and also that land access is such a hard thing to achieve.
Because land's expensive.
Land's expensive, and if you're in the West, water's expensive, and at National Young Farmers Coalition, we envision a farming and ranching future where farming and ranching is free of racial violence, it puts people over profit, and we're thinking about how we're going to steward the land that's environmentally inclusive, because we only got one. So it's really big things to tackle, and I think it's really emotional because it's not just a go home from a job, this is where you live, and you're feeding people, and it sounds like such a niche, but 100% of us eat. That's just the fact. And so we all care. We can hurt the land with farming and ranching, or we could help the land. And there's just infinite things you can learn, and every day is different, and every day goes wrong. And there's a 1% profit margin mostly. So you have to really love it and really value what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Well, the one thing that I think is attractive, we live in a society where a lot of things are kind of abstract. People do things either online or they work on behalf of some technology or something that's not right where they are. But there's something very tangible about working the land and being immersed in nature in that way. Yeah. So the organization you mentioned, Young Farmers...
National Young Farmers Coalition.
National Young Farmers Coalition.
Yes, we include ranchers.
And you're the Colorado organizer, so that means you do a dog and pony show in different places and tell young people about what it's like to live and work on the land.
My job kind of evolves, and we talk to senators and congressmen, and we have amazing farmer and rancher advocates that say that we talk about the Farm Bill and getting policy changed so that young folks can have access to land. I'm in those meetings, and I'm kind of the moderator. And I also get a word in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're a lobbyist.
No. I'm like, yeah.
You know, again, as I mentioned at the top, I was just inspired by our conversation on the plane to Nashville. And it's not a perspective I get to be around or hear. And I think it's important to particularly hear from somebody who is a young person. I'm assuming, I don't know how old you are, but...
I qualify, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're living and working on the land, and you're a passionate advocate for that lifestyle and for the preservation of the land and for the equitable protection and furtherance of healthy farmlands and ranch lands. So I'm happy you could stop by and share that story with us.
Yeah.
And if people want to learn more about your organization, is there a website?
Yeah, National Young Farmers Coalition.org.
National Young Farmers Coalition.org. And Zara Alexandra is your name. I want people to know because you're going to also be putting out a record at some point, and they'll be hearing your songs, your original songs, and so we'll keep an eye out for that too.
Yeah, my this will be my second one, and it'll be the real deal coming out.
Okay.
With help. It's
Okay.
going to be really exciting.
Oh, good. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out. And meanwhile, thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah.
And I appreciate hearing what you have to say.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
work.
you so
Thanks.
much.
That's Zara Alexandra. Okay, Donavon Frankenreiter is going to be back later on with his band and our band. Right now, the other Donovan is here, Donovan Woods. He grew up on the southern shore of Lake Huron on the Canadian side. He started writing songs early on. His first record came out about 17 years ago. He's won a Juno Award, has had his songs in lots of television shows and movies. He just finished his first tour of Australia, and he has a brand new record coming out. He's in this whole thing deep, writing and playing and touring and singing and making it all work for him and his family. I'm really happy he's here. Beautiful singer, beautiful songwriter. Please help me welcome for his first visit to eTown, Donovan Woods.
Sorry, I wanted to say hi first because it always seems very arrogant to me to just start playing like it's such a big deal or something. So, hi.
Well then, Rosemary, in your pretty eyes, darling, I am always in the way of what you're wanting. Here this evening, with more than just my health, I arrive with all the trappings of myself. Hallelujah, she had found who she'd like to be. Now she's tugging at a sweater 'cause of me. Does it suit you hanging round, picking up for three? I suppose it must, I guess it does. Darling, are we okay? Yeah. Well then, Rosemary, in your pretty eyes, darling, I am always in the way of what you're wanting. Here this evening, with more than just my health, I arrive with all the trappings of myself. I was always who you thought I was, I was always who you thought I was that day. Stacking up flatware, mixing up drinks. Later on in life we'll buy nice things. Heaven knows if a second home, well, made of plywood, made of stone, would make us feel more or less alone someday. But darling, can you wait till then? Darling, are we okay? Well then, Rosemary, in your pretty eyes, darling, I am always in the way of what you're wanting. Here this evening, with more than just my health, I arrive with all the trappings of myself. I was always who you thought I was. I was always who you thought I was back then. I was always who you thought I was. I was always who you thought I was back then.
Thank you.
My brother and me used to climb this tree, and we were gonna build a little clubhouse about 10 feet off the ground. We drew the whole thing up. We needed wood in our dad's truck, but he was out of work that summer. The truck only had one gear. He said, we'll do it next year. My buddies and me, we had this dream. We were gonna rent this cabin way up in Montana. We were gonna fish. We had the date all picked, and my old man got sick and the plan kinda disappeared. But we'll do it next year. Another day down, another week gone. You're always just talking about tomorrow. You can't beg, steal, borrow, or make time. So you make plans and hope for the best. Life moves on so damn fast. Another 12 months flies on by. You're still here, but it's never quite next year. My little boy and me, we were out to eat, and he said, I can't wait till next year. And when I asked him why, he said, 'cause we're going camping, we're going to the ball game, and we'll do all them other things you said we'd do next year. So when is it next year? Another day down, another week gone. You're always just talking about tomorrow. You can't beg, steal, borrow, or make time. So you make plans and hope for the best. Life moves on so damn fast. Another 12 months flies on by. You're still here, but it's never quite next year. No, it's never quite next year. My old fast. He said, I think I'd like to go see that Grand Canyon. So we just left, packed up the car and went. I called in sick to work. We drove till 3 a.m. There ain't no next year. Another day down, another week gone. You're always just talking about tomorrow. You can't beg, steal, borrow, or make time. So you make plans and hope for the best. Life moves on so damn fast. Another 12 months flies on by. You're still here, but it's never quite next year. No, it's never quite next year. It's never quite next year. It's never quite next year.
Thank you.
Donovan Woods, welcome to eTown. Your songs are so beautiful, and
Thank you.
I'm hoping that your love life is not as desperate as your songs suggest.
I mean, it is. It was. I wish I could tell you differently.
Well, that's why the emotional depth comes through, perhaps. But man, oh man, those are great songs. So thank you for sharing them. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mentioned that you grew up in at the lower shores of Lake Huron in Sarnia, right across on the Michigan border, right at the border.
Yeah. I could see Michigan from my street.
And Sarnia is like it was an oil town, right? It was like a chemical oil processing place.
Still is, yeah. Everybody's dad works in petrochemical plants, and if you don't, then you work for a company that works for a petrochemical plant, basically. Yeah.
So what were your jobs like when you were, a younger person before you dedicated your life to singing songs?
My dad ran an asphalt plant, so I worked at an asphalt plant testing asphalt cores. I know an unreasonable amount about asphalt. You don't know that there's an intense eternal battle going on between concrete and asphalt in terms of road construction, and perhaps you know that, but it's and they both have their benefits, but and that's the job that I figured out. And by all rights, I should probably have that job. To be perfectly honest with you, look at me. I look like a guy that would be in an asphalt plant. So
I want to know the top line fundamental conflict between concrete and asphalt. Like,
you want to get into it?
Just the top line, just like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Concrete, much more expensive.
Yeah.
Lasts longer. Asphalt, much cheaper. Lasts a shorter amount of time. But concrete takes a really long time to set. It's got to set for a couple of days. Asphalt, you could have it ripped up and repaved in that afternoon. You know what I mean? So if we're talking about a road that has water mains underneath it, the conversation's over. It's got to be asphalt.
Asphalt, because you got to dig it up. Yeah.
In terms of highways, people like highways, but I don't like. Driving on those concrete roads and you get the.
Doesn't happen with asphalt.
It's just me.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm an asphalt guy.
And so in Canada, there's some cool things that happen around the Canadian rules around what gets played on the radio and what percentage of music has to be actually Canadian music.
Yeah.
Which means that the government supports Canadian artists, both physically and commercially. So did that happen for you? Did you get a little boost from when you were starting out from the fact that you were a Canadian artist?
Yes, I did. My folk music doesn't really crush on the radio. So, I was played on the government radio stations early on. The thing that really helped me, CBC, there's a thing called the Star Maker program where all the radio stations have to play 30% Canadian content, and if they don't make it, which they never do because there's not enough good songs, they have to pay a penalty, and all the penalties that they pay go into this fund that pays young musicians to tour places that aren't Canada.
Wow.
So for my whole first, I'm too old for it now, but my first tours of the U.S., I got $1,000 a show from the Star Maker program to make sure the show was viable. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it really was incredible. Yeah.
And then did you have an appreciation for Canadian singer-songwriters? Like, were you more of a Leonard Cohen person or a Gordon Lightfoot person, or were you just looking at American music all the time?
My dad loved folk music. I was named after Donovan Leitch, the folk singer, and I listened to that when I was a kid. I listened to a lot of Paul Simon when I was a kid. We listened to Neil Young a lot. Yeah. I didn't get into Gordon Lightfoot until I was older and I could appreciate him. But I mean, honestly, at that age, I didn't know who was Canadian and who wasn't. I had no idea that Joni Mitchell was Canadian until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
She just seemed too good to be Canadian, to be perfectly frank.
Canada's pretty big, though.
I mean, it's big. There's not very many people.
Yeah.
I mean, at all.
Yeah. And is touring in Canada different from touring in the States? I mean, it's a big, huge country, but people probably come out to shows and stuff.
We're always so amazed when we're, like everyone's, basically from here to Salt Lake is the deal.
Yeah.
But every drive in Canada is like from here to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
I was just on a tour opening for Drew Holcomb. Every time I woke up on the bus, we were in another big city, and it's another city with its own personality. I think of how fun it would be to be a young person in America, to be able to pick a city that suits your personality. There's a city for everybody.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
That's
in
interesting.
Canada, there's 2 cities. Two cool ones.
Yeah. Which one do you live in?
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
Don't make me say what the other one is.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'll get kicked out.
Yeah, right. Well, we're all trying to move there, so it's going to work out fine. We're going to work.
We'll see. We'll see.
By the way, had you ever met Donavon Frankenreiter before today?
No, I've
No.
known
What
about him my whole life because we have the same name.
Yeah.
And he does music, so I've known him my whole life, and I know his music, but I've never met him.
Yeah. What about Donovan Leitch? You ever met him?
I did one time.
Yeah.
And I told him I was named after him, and he did not care. I can't stress enough how much he didn't care.
Well, listen, we are so glad you're here. Glad to get to know you a little bit, and we've got more songs. So let's get back to some music.
Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Donovan Woods.
Katie got divorced and moved back in with her mom. Needed a fresh start, dyed her hair blonde. She is telling me this in the parking lot of the Burlington Mall. We're older now, she's still beautiful. I am back for the funeral. Your hometown's just the first place you don't understand. Family's just strangers, you know, like the back of your hand. The higher you think you're above it, the harder you fall. It's a penthouse view of a brick wall. I am back for the funeral. You can build yourself a rocket, you can ride it to the moon. You'll still wake up some morning in your old bedroom, and it's not gonna kill you, but it feels like it will when your friend takes a month worth of pills. I'm back for the funeral. After the service, we'll all meet up at the bar where my dad used to drink. Now he just drinks in the yard. And we'll laugh about all the young dumb dreams we had. And we'll pretend we're all only sad 'cause we're back for a funeral. And I'll call you in the morning to make sure you're alright, 'cause I don't remember getting home, but I woke up, I'm fine. And I was hoping I would see you, and how roughed up is that that somebody's gotta die for us to call each other back.
Thank you. All right.
I don't tell them about the things you said. I don't tell them about the nights you left. I don't show them these texts I saved, all the games you played, they don't know nothing about it. Whenever somebody says your name, I don't break, I just say it's for the best. It's over now, it wasn't anyone's fault, it didn't work out. She's a good girl, just wasn't the one. We wanted different things, we had a good run, but she's better off, and so am I. It is what it is, man, it's alright. I don't tell them how you broke my heart, I just tell them that we grew apart. I just tell them that we grew apart. I could tell them how you came in late. I could tell them how you looked me in the eye, told that lie with a straight face. I don't know why I don't, but maybe I hope it ain't really over. What's that say about me? Am I that weak? 'Cause I just keep saying it's for the best. It's over now, it wasn't anyone's fault, it didn't work out. She's a good girl, just wasn't the one. Wanted different things, we had a good run, but she's better off, and so am I. It is what it is, man, it's alright. I don't tell them how you broke my heart, I just tell them that we grew apart. Now I swear that Lord, I've been trying something I can't deny. And Lord, you know I felt it calling, I felt it coming. It's for the best, it's over now. It wasn't anyone's fault, it didn't work out. She's a good girl, just wasn't the one. We wanted different things, we had a good run, but she's better off, and so am I. It is what it is, man, it's alright. I don't tell them that you broke my heart, I just tell them that we grew apart. I don't tell them that you broke my heart, I just tell them that we grew apart. I don't tell them that you broke my heart, I just tell them that we grew apart.
Donovan Woods. From Sarnia, Ontario. The record is called Things Were Never Good If They're Not Good Now. Along with eTones, Eric Moon, Christian Teal, Eric Tureen, Helen Forster, Donovan Woods. Such good songs. Thanks to Helen and the band.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by the Bohemian Foundation, building stronger communities through the bohemian qualities of creativity and imagination. On the web at bohemianfoundation.org. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. I'd like to say hello to our listeners who are hearing eTown right now on stations like KPUP, 100.5 FM in Patagonia, Arizona, on WFHB 91.3 FM in Bloomington, Indiana. Thanks for listening. And on WNYE 91.5 FM in New York City. As always, if you'd like some more information about any of our guests or any of the things that are happening here at eTown, lots more can be found at etown.org. We also have a gazillion videos out on our YouTube channel, and a lot of people are checking those out. So please do, if you can. A surfer, an asphalt expert, and a cattle rancher walk into an old church. It could happen. So would you please help me welcome back to the stage here at eTown, Donavon Frankenreiter.
Thank you for singing on that. All right, that sounded good. You guys are all part of the live record. Yeah, love you guys, man. Thank you. Thank you for having us tonight. Thank you for being here, and really fun.
still shine. The last star lingers in the pale blue sky. That's when I know you're right. Oh, I said that's when I know you're around. And in the evening, the light comes through the trees. The birds sing a song as if they're singing to me. That's when I know you're around. Oh, I said that's when I know you're around. Swing on down, swing on down to me. Oh, mama said, swing on down, swing on down to me. I just wanna know if you could. Every time the rain comes out, but the sun still wants to shout, that's when I know you're around, yeah. Oh, I said that's when I know you're around. You know, all these colors, they just speak to me. Tell me stories how it used to be when you were still around, yeah. Oh, I wish you were still around. That's why I'm hoping and praying, saying that you can. Swing on down, swing on down to me. You know, from those clouds up above, yeah. Swing on down, swing on down to me. Every time I see something like that, swing on down, swing on down to me. Ah, mama, why don't you just swing on down, swing on down to me. I just wanna know if you could. I just wanna know, baby, if you would. Swing on down for me sometime. Why don't you just swing on down and swing on down to me? I wanna know if you could. 'Cause every time I hear something like this, well, you know, it just reminds me of you. It just reminds me of you. I said it just reminds me of you. And swing on down, mama, for me sometime.
Donavon Frankenreiter, along with Alex Nash on the drums and Matt Grundy on the bass and the harmonica, along with Eric Moon, Eric Tureen playing the bass, Helen Forster singing. We have time for one more song. I want to thank everybody for coming out. We want to thank all of our guests. As I mentioned, of course, Donavon Frankenreiter coming all the way from his home in Hawaii, along with Alex Nash and Matt Grundy. Thanks to the eTones and Helen Forster, hard-working folks today. Thanks to Donovan Woods, coming from Canada. Thanks to Zara Alexandra, coming and talking to us about ranch life and farming and young people. And we thought it was only fitting for us, since two of our artists are named Donovan, that we do a Donovan song. I'm Nick Forster. Hope you can be with us next week right here at eTown.
When I look look out of my window, many sights to see. And when I look out of my window, so many different people to be. And it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Oh no, must be the season of the winds. Must be the season of the winds. Yeah, must be the season of the wind.
There's something happening in here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. It's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs, yeah. Mostly say hooray for our side. Stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
This is a production of eTown.